CBS 2 investigation recently uncovered a West Suburban company that received one of the biggest checks of all under the federal Paycheck Protection Program. As part of our commitment to working for Chicago, getting people back on their feet, we started asking questions. CBS 2's Chris Tye has been tracing the money and joined us live. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Brad. We're at Broadwind Energy here in Cicero. They make wind turbines. As of last December, they clocked just over 520 employees. As of today, they're a company valued at just under $27 million. And they also have the designation of receiving one of the largest federal checks related to COVID-19, despite, by their own admission, not feeling the financial pinch of the pandemic.
Flexibility and adaptability.
Cicero-based Broadwind Energy ranks 6th on the list of public companies getting the most PPP money in this country, $9.5 million worth. That's nearly 1/3 their total value, and 2 times more than the next biggest Illinois recipient. In their pitch for the money, the turbine maker was clear about lack of hardship. We did not experience significant impacts from the novel coronavirus disease in the first quarter of 2020, in part because our facilities currently operate as essential businesses based on the customers and markets served. However, due to the continuing breadth and severity of the pandemic, our operations, suppliers, and customers have been and may continue to be affected by varying degrees by COVID-19, which could result in a material adverse effect on our business. We tried 5 times over the last week to talk to Broadwind. While our calls and emails were not returned, now we're learning others will soon be asking questions about supersized loans to public companies. All approved loans exceeding $2 million now getting a thorough review from Washington.
They're going to be looked at under this new rule of $2 million and above, so they better think twice before they go about using the funds of whether or not they truly have been affected.
With no hardship proven, the Small Business Administration admitting this loan to Broadwind likely a mistake.
Probably, again, this should not have went to them. Obviously, they qualified under our eligibility rules.
As the feds look into Broadwind and others, Potbelly, Ruth's Chris, and the LA Lakers won't be scrutinized. They're on the list of companies that returned their PPP. There's no indications Broadwind has done the same. $9.5 million that could be pumped in to help mom and pops designed to benefit from the CARES Act. We should point out the only companies whose books are open that we can look at and see what kind of loans they got are publicly traded companies. Of course, private companies, Brad, do not need to open their books to scrutiny, and the Small Business Administration has not offered a list of all of the grants and awards that have gone out. That will come down the road. But whether you are public or private, if you exceed $2 million in loan money, the feds are going to review your application and the money you got.
Yeah, Chris, great work here. So Broadwind basically says, listen, we're not going to be hurt, but give us $10 million, nearly that much, because our customers might be hurt. So that's questionable right there. What role do the banks that pushed this thing through, validated it all, and then got them the $9.5 million, what role do they play in all of this?
They play a huge role. They're essentially the middlemen, right? The government gives the banks, the community banks, the big banks, the money to distribute to their clients. And oftentimes the biggest clients come to the front of the line. Big companies that are worth millions of dollars, leaving moms and pops scrambling to get some of what they feel they're owed. The Small Business Administration official you heard in our story said that is what's going on here. They're going back and pulling back some of the big sums that have gone out the door so that those mom and pops can get a better crack at it in the next round.
All right, not the last time I'll hear from you, Chris, is on especially the Broadwind Energy story. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.